Wasn't happy about the fact that gutless bastard Todd Lassiter didn't have the balls to call me and tell me that, but made some poor man who had no say whatsoever in the decision do it. And I did something I'm not proud of. I gave Tommy a hell of a lot of grief because I suspected that Todd was listening. It was a very uncomfortable phone call for Tommy. Very uncomfortable, and I regret it because he's a decent man. I haven't talked to him since. It's the last contact I had with him. Until my first day here when they sent me flowers. You assholes. So the purpose for telling you all of this? I'll get to it in a second. 9:33 is the time. So the boy genius of programming up in Atlanta, Bob Neal, and the boy wonder on the fast track down here, Todd Lassiter, destroy the worm by taking it off of one frequency and putting it on another. What is their response? They blow out the midday man and the afternoon drive man. Just fire them. Must be their fault. Bob and Todd drive bigger cars and live in nicer houses now. The coast starts to fall apart. They blow out the morning man. Must be his fault. SUN. God, this is really trashy. Let's blow everybody out. It was their idea, not the people that were doing it. During the time that I was there, I saw dozens of people blown out. Sacrifices to the stupidity, the incompetence, and the lack of decency and honor on the part of Bob Neal and Todd Lassiter. Since I've gone, dozens more. And yesterday, WFNS, gone. What remained of WSUN, gone. If you tune into the WFNS, you will hear the coast being simulcast. If you tune into WSUN, from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 6 o'clock the following morning, you will hear the worm being simulcast. And as soon as they can get out of the Nancy Donnell Sports Babe contract, you will hear that, also with the worm on it. And at the end of December, when the Ron and Ron contract is up, they will be gone. These two boy wonders of broadcasting have destroyed 4 radio stations. And I can't tell you how many lives. And so yesterday, a whole bunch of decent, dedicated people who ain't done nothing wrong except try to do their jobs under, frankly, less than ideal circumstances showed up for work to find out there wasn't any more work. And in the newspaper this morning was Todd Lassiter quoted about what great people they were. Now it was a business decision. Only business. You understand, it's only business. I wonder if he hid from them as well as he hid from me. I wonder if he's going to ignore their pleas to be let out of their non-competes as he ignored mine. I wonder if he's going to call up people and try to get some of the latest gossip as he called up people that knew me to try to get some gossip. He'd love to know how much I earn here. Pump the hell out of my agent for information. Gossip. Gossip. From a cowardly little bastard who still has his job, and his boss who still has his job, when scores and scores and scores of decent people don't have theirs because of their incompetence, because of their lack of honor. It pisses me off. Pisses me off big time. I don't know any of the people that got blown out yesterday. Never met any of them. 2 of them I've said very uncomplimentary things about. If I could remember their names, I would have said more, but I can't remember their names. And those 2 have said very uncomplimentary things about me on their shows. That's the nature of the business. Opie Dopey, Freakus, the Blobster. It's the nature of the business. It's not personal. I never met the 2 guys who replaced me with a sports talk show in the afternoon. And I never listened to it because I can't stand sports talk. It has nothing to do with how good or how bad it is. The stations were not overly successful, but a certain segment of the audience, 2-3%, listened to them. And to them it was a very special radio station. And to them, right up to the last minute, they were lied to. We'll be here when you need us. We're your buddies. We're your friends. Ghost! Because Bob Neal and Todd Lassiter are indicative of most of the people who run this business now. They're not broadcasters. I wonder if they're even human beings. They couldn't care less about the people that listen to them. They couldn't care less about the people that advertise with them. They couldn't care less about the people that work for them. They're all plug-in disposable modules. And they go home every night in their fine cars to their fine homes. Well, I suppose that of all the salespeople, the programming people, and the on-air people that got blown out yesterday, I suppose there's a pretty good chance that a couple of wives screamed and ran from the room. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. And I suppose that some of them will have a very difficult time putting up the Christmas tree and taking it down this year for fear that it may be the last time. And I suppose that some of them will go through very deep, dark depressions and have the kinds of thoughts that ran through my mind and ran through my wife's mind. And I suppose there will be heartless faxes and letters and phone calls unreturned from desperate people begging for a little favor, a favor that doesn't cost anything, like, please let me go back to work. There's somebody that might want to hire me, please. Not because they can do any damage to the great Cox Broadcasting Company. Not because they can do any damage to Todd Lassiter. Not because they can do any damage to Bob Neal, but because Bob Neal and Todd Lassiter can do it. There's a reason why I've dragged this story out to almost 3 hours tonight. There's a reason why I gave you almost an hour and a half of fill. For that reason, I wanted to make damn sure that somebody got an opportunity to get to Todd and say, oh boy, this is what we've been waiting for. He's going to unload. I've waited 5.5 months because I knew that you were sitting there last April waiting. And I deliberately said nothing about you. I deliberately said nothing about what went on there. Frankly, it wasn't anybody's business, and frankly, it was still much, much too painful for me. It's still pretty damn painful for me. But when I heard last night what you did to FNS and to SUN, and then when I saw the paper this morning, I figured, no. This man spent 4 years in this town doing virtually nothing but firing people for his own and his boss's incompetence? No. So I'll come in and I'll tease a little bit, and then I'll sit here and I'll fill some time. And now you son of a bitch, can sit there and listen to it. And you can squirm.